To command the morning is to command the day, and to command the day is to command the flow of wealth, opportunity, and abundance. Each sunrise brings a blank page, and upon it we may write with authority, not with fear. The dawn does not ask permission to shine, it simply declares, "Let there be light." So too must we declare, "Let there be wealth, let there be prosperity, let there be open doors." For as we speak, so it is established unto us. The words uttered at the break of day are not mere sounds, they are seeds cast into the fertile soil of the universe. When you awaken and speak in strength, you summon money as a loyal servant, not as a master. You remind yourself, and the unseen forces that govern your affairs, that supply is unlimited, that riches are already prepared for you, waiting for your claim. Money is an obedient messenger, carrying out the orders impressed upon it by confident command. If you rise and say, "I struggle, I lack, I cannot," then the messenger brings back struggle, lack, and closed doors. But if you rise and say, "I prosper, I thrive, I attract money easily and in perfect ways," then the messenger hastens to fulfill that word. The morning hour is a gate. It is a threshold where the invisible passes into the visible, where the eternal steps into the temporal. If at that gate you speak with authority, your day flows with riches. If at that gate you speak with doubt, your day carries confusion. The universe takes its cue from your tone, your certainty, your declaration. Therefore, guard your mouth in the morning. Command, decree, and expect. Money is not a stranger, it is an ally. It is energy made visible. To command money is not to beg it, chase it, or fear it, but to claim it as your rightful inheritance. Speak. This morning I align with the law of wealth. I am rich in ideas, rich in strength, rich in substance. Money comes to me in avalanches of abundance, and I use it wisely, freely, joyously. Such words are not vain repetitions, they are spiritual decrees that compel substance to take form. The world is full of stories of those who began their days with command and saw money pour in from unexpected avenues. Opportunities knock where they never knocked before, because the commanding soul has opened the way. Commanding the morning is aligning yourself with divine order, where there is no shortage, no delay, no denial. This is the discipline. To rise with the sun and speak as a creator, not as a victim. To declare, not to doubt. To announce your riches before they appear, knowing that unseen forces obey the sound of your voice. Say to the morning, "I welcome prosperity. I welcome money. I welcome every avenue of wealth ordained for me." And as you command, the universe cannot help but obey. To say that your morning words are decrees that shape the flow of money for the day is to recognize the invisible power you carry upon your tongue the moment you awaken. The first thoughts you allow, the first words you speak, and the first images you hold are not fleeting trivialities. They are seeds, charged with energy, planting themselves in the soil of the unseen. Each word is a command, each phrase is a law. The morning is not simply a time of day. It is the opening of a gate, a sacred threshold where you decide what shall pass into your experience. If you speak lack, lack will attend you. If you speak abundance, abundance will hasten to your side. The world has taught many to rise in complaint. They awaken and utter words of fatigue, worry, and burden. They say, "Another hard day," or, "I do not know how I will make ends meet." These are decrees, though they know it not. Their words are creative, whether they use them in ignorance or wisdom. A decree is simply a law declared, and the universe always obeys law. If you decree that money is scarce, you have sealed the law of scarcity into your day. If you decree that wealth flows freely, then you have set in motion the law of supply. The words are the same in form, sounds in the air, but different in essence, for one is born of fear and the other of faith. Money is not a stranger to words. It listens. It moves at the sound of command. Your finances, your business, your opportunities, they all bend to the vibration you send forth at dawn. To speak abundance in the morning is to set money in motion before you even rise from your bed. It is to send messengers into the marketplace to gather prosperity for you. It is to summon favorable encounters, to magnetize profitable ideas, to draw unexpected channels of income. Consider the mind as a great throne, and the mouth as the scepter that enforces its will. In the morning you sit upon that throne. Will you decree poverty, or will you decree prosperity? The scepter of the tongue gives the order, and unseen forces rush to comply. A monarch who forgets his authority leaves his kingdom in disorder. So too the soul who wakes without command allows chaos, chance, and fear to shape the day. But the one who decrees with certainty finds the kingdom of affairs falling into place, money flowing in perfect rhythm, doors opening in exact sequence. The words you choose in the morning must be rich, not poor. They must be expansive, not limiting. When you declare, "Money comes to me in perfect ways," you are not wishing, you are commanding. When you say, "Today I prosper, today I increase, today money flows to me easily," you are laying out the blueprint of the day. And the blueprint will be followed, because words are instructions written on the invisible scroll of law. The universe is but a vast builder, waiting on the architect's design. And your morning decree is the design it follows. Many fail because they speak carelessly in the first moments of waking. They let fear rise before they do. They take yesterday's defeats into today's beginning. But the morning is fresh, new, untouched by the past unless you drag the past into it with your words. To say, "This will be another hard day," is to chain today to yesterday's struggle. To say, "Today is a day of wealth, today is a day of open doors, today is a day of increase," is to break the chain and set the day free to bring you money and opportunity. The power is not in long speeches, but in clear decrees. A monarch does not explain or justify his commands, he simply declares, and the command is carried out. So too must your morning words be simple and direct. Money is mine now. I live in abundance. I command wealth to appear in visible form today. These statements are not to persuade, but to enforce. They are not to beg, but to decree. The decree is law, and law must be fulfilled. The flow of money is like a river, and your morning decree is the hand that directs its course. Without command, the river may wander into dry ground. With command, the river rushes straight to you, bringing refreshment, opportunity, and supply. There is no limit to the volume of the river, for the source is infinite. The only limit is the strength of your decree. A weak command builds a small channel, a bold, confident decree builds a mighty channel that carries riches in overflowing measure. You may test this law and see its accuracy. Rise with complaint and observe how money slips from your grasp, how expenses multiply, how opportunities pass by unnoticed. Rise with command and observe how money finds you in unexpected ways, how expenses resolve themselves, how opportunities seek you out. The difference lies not in chance but in decree. The morning word sets the tone, and the tone draws its likeness. Do not wait for visible evidence before you decree. Evidence follows the decree, never precedes it. A builder does not wait to see the house before he draws the blueprint. He draws first, and then the house appears. So too must you decree first, and the evidence of money will follow. If you wait to see before you speak, you reverse the law and bind yourself to delay. Speak first, with faith, and the unseen goes to work at once. Your decree need not be shouted, but it must be firm. It must carry the certainty of one who knows authority. A whisper of truth has more power than a cry of fear. When you say in the morning, "Wealth belongs to me now, money serves me today, abundance is mine," speak as one who expects obedience. The universe is not deaf, but it responds only to conviction. Doubt commands nothing. Certainty commands all. The decree of the morning is not only about attracting money, but also about commanding your relationship to it. If you speak of money as a friend, it will treat you as a friend. If you speak of money as an enemy, it will flee from you. To say, "Money is hard to get, money is never enough," is to create resistance. To say, "Money is my servant, money flows to me, money is plentiful," is to create ease. The decree shapes the nature of the flow. The first hour of the day is the golden hour. What you release then carries greater power, for it sets the vibration that echoes throughout the hours that follow. If your first words are words of wealth, every event, every encounter, Every thought is colored with that wealth vibration. Money recognizes its signal and rushes to meet it. If your first words are words of lack, then lack colors the day and money hides itself. The choice lies with you, and it is made not in thought alone, but in decree. To understand that your morning words are decrees that shape the flow of money for the day, is to understand that you hold the key each dawn. You may unlock poverty or you may unlock prosperity. The key is always in your mouth. The command is always in your hand. Each word is a seed that grows swiftly, for morning soil is most fertile. Plant wisely, plant abundantly, and you will reap in like manner. Your decree is the command, and the command is the law that governs your money for the day. Money responds to command, not to fear or begging. To understand this truth is to place yourself in the seat of authority over your financial life. Money is not a tyrant, not a master, not a force outside your reach. It is a servant, an obedient messenger, waiting for instruction. It comes not because you plead with it, nor because you chase it desperately, but because you stand in command and give it direction. Fear confuses it, begging weakens it, but command compels it. The soul that fears money never sees it in abundance, for fear sends it away. Fear says, I am not worthy, I am not capable, I am not ready. Fear whispers, there is not enough, there is lack everywhere. I must hold tightly to the little I have. These whispers form decrees as strong as any spoken words, and money obeys by withdrawing. It cannot stay where it is not trusted. It cannot multiply where it is not welcomed. Fear pushes it back into the unseen, hiding it behind circumstances of delay and disappointment. Begging has no greater effect, for begging acknowledges lack and magnifies it. To beg for money is to affirm that money is separate from you, that it belongs elsewhere and not here. To plead with the universe is to say, I do not believe abundance is mine already. The one who begs waits, hoping for scraps, while the one who commands speaks as heir and owner. Money listens to certainty, not desperation. Just as a servant heeds a firm instruction, but ignores the voice of hesitation. Money moves in answer to command. Command is not arrogance but alignment. It is standing in the truth that money is substance, energy, supply flowing from the infinite, and that infinite belongs to you. To command is to take your rightful place as co-creator, not victim of circumstance. When you say, money, come to me in perfect ways. Money, serve me today. Money, appear where I need you. You are not asking, you are directing. The directive is law, and money, being law-abiding, must fulfill it. Look at nature and see this principle reflected everywhere. The sun does not beg the earth to shine upon it, it simply shines. The river does not plead for water to flow, it flows because that is its nature. Money too flows by nature, and when commanded, it flows toward the one who knows how to speak with authority. Command sets the current, while fear dams it up and begging diverts it away. Many live their lives believing money is hard, money is scarce, money belongs to others more fortunate. These are not facts but decrees spoken in ignorance. If you continually affirm, it is difficult to get money, I must struggle, I never have enough, then money has no choice but to follow that instruction and remain difficult, remain scarce, remain distant. But if you shift the decree to, money is easy, money is plentiful, money is mine in overflowing measure, then money receives its instruction to appear easily, plentifully, and abundantly. To command is also to direct the purpose of money. Without direction, money wanders. It comes in and flows out just as quickly. But with command you say, money, you serve me in prosperity, you serve me in expansion, you serve me in joy. Then money takes shape to fulfill those purposes. A beggar does not direct, he only receives what is given. A commander establishes order, and the servant carries it out. So too must you set order for money, so that it multiplies and remains, serving the life you are destined to live. Fear and begging spring from a belief in separation, a belief that supply exists outside you and must be grasped for. But command springs from oneness. The recognition that abundance is already within you, and money is simply the visible expression of that inner wealth. To command is to call forth what is already yours. To beg is to deny your inheritance. To fear is to lock the door against your own treasure. Consider how a king governs his kingdom. He does not beg his subjects to obey, nor does he fear their response. He gives commands with authority, and the command becomes law. You are the king of your financial kingdom. Money is your subject. If you speak timidly, it wanders. If you speak fearfully, it hides. If you command with certainty, it obeys. The throne is yours, the scepter is in your hand. But many leave the throne empty and wonder why their affairs remain in chaos. Command does not mean forcing money, for money is not forced, it is directed. To say, money must come this exact way, through this exact person, at this exact time, is to restrict the flow. Command leaves the method to infinite wisdom, but the outcome is certain. When you decree, money flows to me now in perfect ways. You do not dictate how. It may come through business, through opportunity, through a gift, through unexpected channels. Your role is to decree the flow, not to limit its channels. Fear, on the other hand, blocks channels. It says, it can only come through my job, and if that fails, I am ruined. Begging narrows the channel even more. Please let someone help me. Please let something happen. Command opens all channels. Money flows to me through all avenues, seen and unseen. Fear looks at one door. Begging knocks on one locked gate. Command flings open every door, every gate, every passage. The difference between fear, begging, and command is the difference between a pauper, a petitioner, and a ruler. The pauper accepts whatever little comes. The petitioner waits on the mercy of others. The ruler decrees and sees fulfillment. Money responds not to the pauper's complaint, not to the petitioner's plea, but to the ruler's decree. To step into command is to rise above circumstance and take your place as one with authority over substance. When you understand that money responds to command, not to fear or begging, you cease to chase and begin to attract. You cease to worry and begin to expect. You cease to plead and begin to decree. And as you decree, so it is established. Money has no will of its own. It bends to the will expressed with confidence. Fear gives it no instruction but to flee. Begging gives it no instruction but to delay. Command gives it clear instruction to come, to serve, to multiply. The choice is made with every word you speak, every thought you hold, every feeling you release. You either repel money with fear, postpone it with begging, or attract it with command. To command is not an act of struggle but an act of certainty. It is knowing that money, like light, like air, like water, is part of infinite supply. An infinite supply cannot be withheld from the one who claims it with authority. The morning hour is a spiritual gate where declarations manifest. When the sun rises and the first light touches the earth, a door opens between the unseen and the seen. It is not just another moment of the clock, it is a threshold where what you speak, what you imagine, and what you decree finds the most direct passage into form. At this gate, your words are magnified, your thoughts are heightened, and your vibration sets the tone for all that follows. If you enter the gate with doubt, you carry doubt through the day. If you enter the gate with command, abundance unfolds in harmony with your decree. The first hour carries a stillness, a freshness, a purity untouched by the burdens of the day before. It is fertile ground waiting for seed. Just as the farmer knows to plant when the soil is rich, so must you know to plant words when the spiritual soil is open. What you plant at this gate grows swiftly, for the energies are most receptive. To speak poverty in that hour is to root poverty deeply. To speak wealth in that hour is to establish wealth as the foundation of the day. Every morning you stand before this invisible gate, and every morning you choose what to carry through it. Some enter with heavy burdens of yesterday's failures, repeating in their mind, "Nothing changes, I am stuck, I cannot see a way." That repetition becomes the decree at the gate, and the gate faithfully manifests what is spoken. Others rise and declare, "This is a new day, a day of wealth, a day of opportunity, a day where money flows to me easily," and the gate opens wide to release that reality into their path. The difference is not in the outer world, but in the words spoken at the threshold. The gate of morning is a place of authority, It listens to command. It does not question, it does not argue, it does not delay. It manifests. That is why careless words in the early hour carry so much weight. A sigh of worry, a muttered complaint, a fearful thought whispered before rising from bed, all become orders written on the scroll of the day. The gate cannot choose for you, it can only amplify what you have chosen to speak. This is why discipline of the tongue is most crucial at dawn. To guard your words then is to guard the course of your entire day. When you understand the morning as a gate, you begin to treat it with reverence. You no longer rush into it thoughtlessly, but you step into it as a ruler enters a chamber, knowing that every decree matters. You rise and say, "Today wealth greets me, today money serves me, today prosperity unfolds." These words are not mere affirmations. They are spiritual laws written at the gate. They move unseen forces into alignment. They send messengers into the marketplace. They magnetize circumstances, people, and opportunities to fulfill what was declared. Imagine the gate as a doorway through which all your affairs must pass. If you hang a sign that says, "Scarcity," everything that enters will take on the color of lack. If you hang a sign that says, "Abundance," everything that enters will carry the fragrance of prosperity. You decide which sign to hang with your first words. You may not see the result immediately, but the tone is set, the vibration is cast, and everything that follows aligns itself accordingly. The power of the morning gate is why traditions across time and culture emphasize morning rituals of prayer, meditation, or declaration. The wise have always known that the start of the day determines its unfolding. To begin in silence, to begin in gratitude. To begin in command is to align with the highest order. To begin in complaint, to begin in worry. To begin in doubt is to set in motion a day of confusion. The gate amplifies both equally, it does not discriminate. It manifests what is spoken with precision. This is why money responds so swiftly to the words at the morning gate. When you declare, "Money flows to me easily, money comes in perfect ways, money is my servant," the gate carries that decree into the hours ahead, and you find doors opening, opportunities presenting themselves, ideas arising. It may come through expected means, or through channels you never imagined. But the decree set the energy in motion. If instead you rise and say, "I never have enough, I must struggle all day," nothing works out. Then the gate faithfully produces a day where money slips away, efforts feel hard, and outcomes disappoint. The morning gate is not only about external money, but also about your inner posture toward it. If you enter with fear, the day reflects fear. If you enter with authority, the day reflects authority. To say, "I am aligned with wealth, I am one with supply, I am open to all abundance today," is to step through the gate wearing the crown of prosperity. Every interaction, every decision, every thought throughout the day begins to mirror that crown. To say, "I cannot, I lack, I am unworthy," is to step through the gate in rags, and the day mirrors that garment. Think of the morning gate as a canvas. The first brushstrokes determine the entire painting. If you begin with dark, fearful strokes, the whole picture carries that shadow. If you begin with bright, bold strokes of abundance, the whole painting radiates prosperity. You cannot paint with despair and expect a masterpiece of wealth. You cannot speak lack and expect riches. The brush is in your hand each morning, and the canvas is always fresh. It is also a gate of momentum. What you declare at the beginning gains strength as the hours progress. A decree of wealth at dawn grows into unexpected opportunities by noon and visible money by evening. A decree of lack at dawn grows into frustration by noon and disappointment by evening. The gate multiplies what it receives. A small seed of prosperity spoken in faith becomes a tree of visible results. A small seed of fear spoken in doubt becomes a tangle of obstacles. The morning gate asks for intentionality. It does not require long speeches or complex rituals. It requires clarity, certainty, and alignment. A single phrase spoken with conviction, "Today money flows to me in overflowing measure," carries more power than 100 words spoken with doubt. The gate listens not only to words but to the tone, the feeling, the belief beneath them. When you speak with authority, The gate recognizes it and opens wide. Every morning you are given a new chance, a fresh gate, a clean threshold. Yesterday's words do not have to dictate today's decree, unless you repeat them. The gate does not carry over complaints unless you bring them again. It does not carry over failures unless you drag them into the new dawn. Each sunrise is a gift, a reset, an opportunity to declare anew. And what you declare at this gate is what you live throughout the day. Prosperity is your rightful inheritance. Claim it daily with authority. From the moment you awaken to the truth of your divine supply, you realize that money, wealth, and abundance are not favors bestowed at random, but birthrights already prepared for you. The universe is not stingy, nor does it measure your worth by toil and struggle. It is overflowing, ceaseless, abundant, and you are heir to its riches. Yet inheritance must be claimed. A child may be the rightful heir to a great estate, but if he never steps forward to claim it, the estate lies untouched. So it is with prosperity. Unless you claim it with words, with faith, with command, it remains dormant. To claim prosperity is not to beg for it, not to chase it, not to doubt its existence. It is to rise each day and say with authority, "Wealth belongs to me now. I live in prosperity, money flows freely into my life." These are not vain repetitions but affirmations of truth. They align your mind with the law of supply, and the law responds by shaping circumstances, opportunities, and events to mirror the declaration. Authority is the key, for without authority the words are empty. When you speak as owner, the inheritance moves toward you. When you speak as beggar, it remains out of reach. Prosperity is not granted to a chosen few. It is not reserved for the fortunate or the strong. It is universal, and it is available to all who recognize and claim it. Just as sunlight shines on every roof, so prosperity radiates toward every soul. Some close their shutters with doubt and fear, while others open wide with faith and command. The difference is not in the light but in the willingness to receive. You claim your inheritance not by chance but by choice. Each morning, each moment, you either affirm prosperity or deny it. Authority is exercised in the words you speak. The spoken word is a declaration of ownership. When you say, "I am prosperous," you are not describing a condition you hope for, you are enforcing a law that already exists. When you say, "Money serves me now," you are not making a request, you are issuing an order backed by universal law. Prosperity is the natural state of the universe, and authority is the means by which you align with it. To claim prosperity daily is to build momentum. A single declaration has power, but repeated declarations establish permanence. Just as water wears through stone by constant flow, so do daily claims wear away the old patterns of lack and replace them with patterns of wealth. Each morning is a new opportunity to claim your inheritance afresh. The repetition is not because the universe forgets, but because the human mind must be trained to accept. Old thoughts of scarcity rise easily. They must be replaced again and again with decrees of prosperity until abundance becomes the only natural thought. Think of a title deed to a house. The deed proves ownership, but if you never enter the house, never walk its halls, never live within its rooms, you do not experience the benefits of ownership. Prosperity is the deed already signed in your favor, but daily claiming it is like walking into the house and living in it. Without the daily step of faith and command, the inheritance is yours in law but not in experience. Claiming it makes it real in your affairs, not just in theory. Many live as hares who never claim. They say, "Maybe one day I will prosper. Maybe fortune will smile on me." These are words of delay, words of uncertainty. The inheritance waits, untouched. Others say, "I must struggle and labor endlessly, and then perhaps I will earn prosperity." These are words of limitation. They make prosperity conditional on toil, when in truth it is already prepared. The one who claims boldly says, "Prosperity is mine now. I do not wait. I do not beg. I do not question. I take what belongs to me." And the universe answers with visible supply. Authority does not mean arrogance. It means alignment with truth. The law of prosperity does not yield to doubt, but it responds instantly to confidence. When you command with certainty, You are not forcing the law, you are cooperating with it. To say, I prosper daily, wealth flows to me without struggle, is not to boast but to acknowledge the order of things. You are not demanding what does not exist. You are affirming what always has been. The law of gravity holds whether you believe it or not, and the law of supply holds whether you doubt it or not. But only when you align with it consciously through command do you experience its fullness. Claiming prosperity daily also guards you against the illusions of lack. The world may show shortage, crisis, or difficulty, but your daily decree cuts through appearances. When you say, I live in abundance, you establish yourself above the illusion. The universe does not run out. Supply is infinite. The inheritance is unshakable. Appearances change, but truth remains, and truth is abundance. To speak it daily is to anchor yourself in that truth until appearances shift to match. Authority in claiming prosperity is strengthened by consistency. A single spark ignites, but a steady flame illuminates. Your words each day are sparks, and as they accumulate, they create a fire that burns away doubt and lights the path of abundance. Some give up after 1 or 2 declarations saying, it does not work. But the inheritance does not vanish, it waits. Authority is demonstrated in persistence, in refusing to let old thoughts of lack regain control. Every day is another step into ownership. When you claim prosperity, you also claim your relationship to money. You stop treating money as elusive or scarce, and you begin to treat it as obedient and faithful. You say, money comes to me in perfect ways, money serves me, money is plentiful. In this way, you train not only your mind, but also your affairs to reflect the truth. Money ceases to be a source of fear and becomes a trusted servant. Authority transforms the relationship, and daily claiming reinforces it. Prosperity as inheritance also carries responsibility. To claim wealth daily is not merely to gather money, but to use it with wisdom, joy, and generosity. Authority is not domination but stewardship. The more you align with the law of prosperity, the more you recognize that abundance flows best when it is circulated freely. Money comes easily, but it also serves highest when guided by intention. Your daily decree may include, I prosper richly, and I use wealth wisely. This anchors not only supply but also purpose. The rightful inheritance of prosperity is never exhausted. You may claim it today, tomorrow, and forever, and it continues to flow. Unlike earthly inheritances that diminish when divided, this spiritual inheritance multiplies as it is claimed. The more you declare it, the more it expands. The more you use it, the more it returns. The law is generous, the supply is endless, and the inheritance is sure. To step into it requires no permission, no condition, only authority. Commanding the morning aligns you with divine order and abundance. When you rise and speak words of power at the dawn, you are not only arranging the affairs of your day, but also synchronizing yourself with the universal rhythm that governs all creation. Divine order is the law that holds planets in their orbits, that directs seasons in their cycles, that causes seed to sprout and rivers to flow. It is perfect, harmonious, unfailing. When you align with it, your life reflects that same harmony. Money flows without struggle. Opportunities appear in perfect timing, and abundance unfolds naturally. To command the morning is to step into agreement with this order, declaring that your day will not be ruled by confusion or lack but by prosperity and clarity. Abundance is the nature of divine order. There is no scarcity in the universe. The stars do not run out of light. The oceans do not withhold their tides. The trees do not ration their fruit. Everything in creation demonstrates overflow, generosity, continual supply. Scarcity exists only in the mind that resists this truth. When you command your morning, you dissolve resistance and affirm abundance as the law of your life. You say, I align with plenty. I align with overflowing good. I align with money flowing in perfect ways. These words shift your consciousness into harmony with what already is. The supply does not need to be created, it needs only to be claimed. When you fail to command the morning, you leave the gate open to disorder. Fear, worry, and doubt rush in to govern the day. You find yourself tossed by circumstances, reacting to whatever appears. forgetting that you hold the power to decree. Divine order waits to be acknowledged, but if you do not claim it, you experience the disorder of human limitation. The alignment must be conscious. Just as a musician tunes an instrument before playing, so must you tune yourself each morning to the law of prosperity. Your words are the tuning fork. They set the vibration that carries through the hours ahead. Commanding the morning also breaks the illusion of randomness. Many believe money arrives by chance, by luck, by coincidence. But in divine order, nothing is random. Every supply, every opportunity, every open door is the result of law. When you declare, "Today I prosper, today money comes to me, today abundance manifests," you are not hoping for luck. You are activating law. Divine order hears your decree and arranges events accordingly. A meeting happens at the right time, an idea rises in your mind, a payment arrives unexpectedly, but none of it is accident. It is the visible unfolding of the invisible alignment you set at dawn. The morning is the axis of alignment. It is the point at which you decide whether to live in order or disorder, abundance or scarcity, faith or fear. Commanding it is not optional if you desire prosperity. It is the foundation. Without command you drift. With command you direct. The difference is the difference between a ship adrift at sea and a ship guided by compass and captain. Divine order is the compass, and your decree is the hand that sets the course. Abundance responds swiftly to those who align with order. When you say, "Everything I need comes to me in perfect ways," you are not forcing events. You are stepping into the current already flowing in your favor. The river of supply never stops, but if you row against it with doubt, you tire and struggle. Command turns the boat to move with the current. Suddenly money appears with ease, because you are no longer resisting. Opportunities come, because you are flowing in harmony. Ideas flourish, because you are aligned with creativity itself. Disorder, on the other hand, creates blockages. To wake and say, "I never have enough, today will be difficult, money is scarce," is to command against divine order. The law cannot deny itself, but you can deny yourself the experience of its abundance by decreeing lack. The universe reflects your decree faithfully, whether it is wealth or want. To align is to speak in harmony with truth. To misalign is to speak in discord with it. The gate of morning amplifies whichever you choose. The alignment is not only for money but for the entire flow of life. Yet money is included, for it too is part of divine order. Just as air is provided for breath and water for thirst, so money is provided for exchange and expansion. To think otherwise is to separate money from spirit, when in truth it is one expression of the same supply. When you command your morning and say, "Money flows to me as part of divine abundance," you remove separation and allow wealth to appear as naturally as oxygen. Commanding the morning also restores authority to its rightful place, within you. Divine order does not force itself upon you. It waits for your agreement. The moment you speak, "I align with abundance," the law begins to work visibly. The moment you doubt and declare lack, the law reflects that too. Authority is exercised in choosing the decree. Every morning you decide whether you will cooperate with the harmony of the universe or resist it with fear. Command is the act of choosing cooperation. The discipline of commanding the morning is simple but profound. It does not require long hours, but it does require consistency. A few words spoken with conviction can transform an entire day. I live in abundance. Money comes to me easily. I walk in divine order. These statements, spoken at dawn, ripple through the hours ahead. Every encounter is shaped by them. Every task is infused with them. Every thought carries their vibration. Without such words, the day is unanchored, swayed by appearances and moods. With them, the day is anchored in law. To align with divine order each morning is to walk in certainty. You no longer wonder if supply will appear. You know it will, because you have decreed it. You no longer doubt if opportunities will arise. You know they will, because order has arranged them. This certainty itself attracts money, for money gravitates to confidence, not to hesitation. Your words in the morning establish the tone of confidence, and everything follows accordingly. Abundance is not something you chase but something you allow. Commanding the morning removes barriers to allowance. Fear is a barrier, doubt is a barrier, complaint is a barrier. When you rise and say, I align with wealth, I align with prosperity, I align with perfect order, those barriers fall away. Money flows because it no longer meets resistance. Opportunities come because they are no longer blocked. Supply manifests because you have opened the channel. The alignment is ongoing, renewed each day. Yesterday's decree brought yesterday's abundance, but today you stand at a new gate. Commanding the morning is not a one-time act but a daily practice. Each sunrise presents another opportunity to align, another opportunity to declare. Divine order is eternal, but your agreement with it is expressed freshly each day. Authority is exercised again and again, and with each exercise, abundance becomes more natural, more visible, more overflowing. When you understand that commanding the morning aligns you with divine order and abundance, you see the importance of guarding those first words and thoughts. They are not idle, they are creative. They are not background, they are blueprint. The order of the universe is perfect, but your alignment with it determines whether you experience wealth or want, flow or struggle, clarity or confusion. To command is to choose alignment, and to align is to live in abundance.